Stephen Yanni here doing a junkyard crawl at Burniston Auto Wrecking in Burniston, Massachusetts with a 1965 Dodge Coronet. Now this is the same basic vehicle, 1965 Coronet, that was the basis of the Ramchargers altered wheelbase match race funny car. You know, such a plebeian basic counterpoint to that funny car right here, or is it? Well, you know, Dodge station wagons do have a drag racing history, and this here is an issue of High Performance Cars magazine from September of 1963, and that is the Ramchargers Candy Stick station wagon. It's a 63 Dodge wagon. Al Ekstrand, who was a corporate lawyer for Chrysler Corporation, put his name Lawman on the side, and the idea here was that the station wagon has about 45% of its weight on the nose, 55 on the back, which should mean traction. Well, they put a max wedge 413 and a 3-speed manual in the Candy Stick and went drag racing. They found that it wasn't as good a combination as it could have been. But with that said, there definitely is a history of Dodge wagon as drag car. Now this one is a basic Coronet. Under the hood, this one has the 273 V8. You can see it right there. And that was the first year, 1965 in B bodies. That 273 is actually an LA series family engine. What that means, of course, is that it has no polyspherical cylinder heads, and that's basically the granddaddy of the 340, the 360, and the 318. But this is the base V8, 1965. There was also a 318 Poly available in 65 for a little extra money, and of course the 361, the 383, and in two-door sedans, yes, the race Hemi was installed in 101 Coronets in 65, and this ain't one of them. But something kind of cool here is the Junkyard Cutaway. Here we can see the cowl used to be right here. This was body colored, had vents in it. Well, it's been sliced away by somebody who needed it, but it also gives us a nice look at the actual inner cowl. This structure right here collects air through the vents, sends it into that hole right there, and then through a series of vacuum ducts to your feet, to the windshield, to keep you warm, keep you cool, etc. But kind of a cool junkyard x-ray. We also see on the front of this thing 10-inch drum brakes right here. 11-inch drums were an option, but these are the standard 10-inch drums. So again, it's a 273 two-barrel automatic wagon, base stuff. 383, yeah, you might see 11-inch drums or trailer towing package. And yes, you could also get a slant 6 in one of these things if you really wanted it. But again, 65 was the first year for the Coronet name plate came back after going away in 59 through 62, 345. Excuse me, 63.4, these were called Polaras or 440s or 330s. But again, the name Coronet came back in 1965, seen here. Let's open the door and peek inside. Now, this is a base Coronet. There was also the Coronet 440 and in two-door form, Coronet 500s. But this is, again, the base Coronet with a rubber floor mat, no carpets here. It might have been a radio delete car, don't know. The plate is gone. There might have been one, don't know. But on the right-hand side, we can see the remnants of the push-button heater controls. And that was similar to 64, 63, 62, but the shifter in 65, the buttons were gone, and there would have been a column-mounted shift lever for the Torque Flight automatic in this one. Now, the crazy thing is, these have the same 117-inch wheelbase as a two-door sedan. And believe it or not, the two-door posts are getting so rare that people are actually taking two-door hardtops and turning them into two-door sedans, and even four-door hardtops and grabbing the pieces and parts. And believe it or not, these door frames right here are what you need if you're turning a hardtop door into a two-door post. So this car still has a lot of good parts to create a two-door funny car post or altered wheelbase or super stock 65 Coronet. So it's not junk. As far as restoring this one or bringing it back, it's kind of too far gone. Now the rear axle is gone here. 65 was the first year for the 8 3/4, and it's one-piece axle shaft. It's gone. Somebody snatched it. It's a great axle. Gets away from the taper, the nut, the spindle, all that crap of 1964, 3 and 2. But here again is the rear windows on this are great. The wraparound effect, the way the gas tank and the filler is right here, pretty cool stuff. And here in the back, I brought this along, by the way, but this is the 1965 Dodge Police Pursuits. A lot of folks think of police cars as being 4 doors, you know. Well, there's a lot of 2 doors, and believe it or not, also station wagons. Right in this thing here. Kind of cool. The Dodge Coronet four-door wagon on the right-hand side. The Coronet Emergency Patrol Wagon, optional engines, 383 4-barrel, dual exhaust, 361 2-barrel, 318 poly. But again, the Dodge Coronet station wagon, oh yeah. And of course, 11-inch drums, typical on the cop car versions. But what a cool thing. You got to wonder, you know, if there's any of these things left on the planet. Usually fleet cars like this are the first things to get used up hard and sold at auction for nothing and thrown away. But cop cars are awesome. I always call them muscle cars with 4 doors. But there's also good stuff left in this one. You can see here a very clean headlight surround. And these things, if you're building an AFX car, whatever it might be, these basically are blocked off because the funny cars had, or the super stockers only had 2 headlights, so this is blocked off. But again, this is good raw material for trimming if need be. Front bumper is still pretty decent on this thing. You could snatch that, although of course the A990s had a thin gauge acid dipped front bumper. That's production stuff right there. But again, the wraparound window on this, missing on this side. But again, these door frames, this stuff right here, slice it, dice it. And in fact, even this, the lock pillar on this side here, that can be taken and put into a 4-door conversion into a 2-door. So a lot of raw material here for folks who are building 2-door post clones because there's just not enough original ones to go around. Now, in 1965, a total of 209,500 Coronets were made. Seems like a lot, almost 250,000. Every single one of them had these beautiful front fenders, which are now gone. But of those 209,500 Coronets, a total of 25,600 were station wagons, like 1 in 9. So a pretty uncommon body style then or now. But again, this is the bones right here of an altered wheelbase funny car clone waiting to happen. A lot of very useful parts on this. The door frames, again, you take these, you stretch them out to a little bit longer for the 2-door post body style. And a lot of good stuff. The skin on these doors is still pretty decent. So it just goes to show nothing goes to waste in the junkyard. Hopefully somebody will come and turn this into a 2-door post. If somebody else doesn't, well, I might have to. But that's the story of the 65 Dodge Coronet station wagon with some drag racing history then and now. If you like this video, be sure to stay tuned and subscribe to the Steve Maggs YouTube channel.